Howdy viewers, and thanks for watching this video. As some of you know that have watched the previous video about this car, this car behind me is a 2001 Chevy Prizm or Toyota Corolla, and it showed up with a busted engine. The piston was busted in pieces in the oil pan, and the it also busted two valves. So yesterday the owner brought an engine by that was out of a 97, and I looked to see if I could do the swap on it, and it wasn't possible. The reason it wouldn't fit is because of the plug and coil pack unit here. The other engine had regular plug and wire and coil packs, and this right here wouldn't fit down into the older engine. I mean, like, it was only maybe about 2 millimeters too wide, and it wouldn't go down in there and actually connect to the spark plug. So I wasn't able to swap those engines. That looked like the only real obstacle in the way. So it came by this morning and picked up his engine that the junkyard had sold him, and he asked me if I would just go ahead and just keep the car for payment, if that would be okay, and I said sure, I appreciate it. So here, got myself a 2001 Toyota Corolla or Chevy Prizm that I'm parting out now. I thought I was going to do an engine swap, but it looks like I'm just going to do a complete rip apart. Kind of curious. I thought it said it had 102,000 miles on it, so let's see. Let's see how many miles it really has on it. We're going to hook a battery up to it. The guy told me that wow, I don't know what it snapped or it popped for. They weren't even touching, but whatever. The guy told me that it had a new battery in it last year, and I told him when it showed up here it didn't have a battery in it, so he told me that somebody must have stole it. And then he told me, he said he wondered why the hood looked funny, and I told him, yeah, it does look a little bent, and it has been probably forced open, but the guy just was pretty much fed up and done with the car. So kind of felt bad that he wasted all that money and stuff on it. So I told him, you know, if you got some other car work, I'd be happy to do some of it for free for you. So let's see, there's the key. So let's see what kind of... Yeah, 102,000 miles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my saw and just go ahead and cut this motor and transmission out and get these removed from the car. I'll make sure to make a video about that. It's pretty sad that you know, I don't really like Chevrolets, but it's pretty sad that we couldn't just go ahead and put this car back on the road. I mean, it has some body rust and stuff, but who cares about that? The rest of the car looked pretty clean and in good shape. I mean, somebody's done some work to the air conditioner, obviously, and the radiator's in nice shape. And the guy said the transmission was working fine and all that, and the inside of the car is really pretty decent and all that as well, you know. So it's really a shame that this is going to be the end of this car's life, but he couldn't find another engine for it, and as far as getting used engines go, unless it's a used engine that I've had, I won't go and purchase a used engine for somebody and then go install it in their car. So it has to be an engine that, you know, I've actually seen run, because I'm not going to sit there and do that to a person. So let's get started. Here's what all I've got done so far. Got all the electrical connections disconnected from the engine, as well as the hoses such as radiator, heater core hoses, air conditioner, all the stuff that was on the head, and the also have the all the transmission connectors disconnected and cooler lines disconnected. So the only thing now that I need to do is I'm going to go look and see how you're supposed to unconnect the next thing I'm going to have to do is disconnect the U-joints and all, and the drive shafts from the front end, so I can unbolt and lift this thing off. The other thing that I did is I also took out one of the engine mount bolts over here. So sorry I didn't do a video of all what I was doing. I just kind of got into what I was doing, forgot about the camera. One thing on these you'll note, that if you're doing anything with the exhaust or having to take the engine out or anything like that, is you're going to hate this part. So you need to get to that bolt right there if you want to unhook the exhaust from the exhaust manifold, and that O2 sensor's in the way for you to get perfect access down from underneath. So you have to take a wrench from this side and do that, and that's going to be rather a pain. So I hate to do it, but this thing's got a new exhaust on it, but I'm just going to chop the exhaust off. I'm not going to do all this pain in the butt work, since this car is going to the smasher, so you know, I'm not going to be reusing the exhaust or nothing off of it. So okay, so I've got the engine unhooked from everything and the exhaust cut off. I think I got all the motor mounts and stuff unhooked. So let's see how much fun it is to pull all this up out of the engine bay, transmission and engine boat. Here she comes, guys. I couldn't get this this shaft out of the hub, so just took my my circle saw with the metal blade and just chopped it right on off. Whoa, whoa. So I got my stand stuck. Never mind. And there she is, guys. So I finally got that pesky engine out of there. And tomorrow we'll dissect this thing and see what the rest of the carnage is, and I'll separate the transmission and all that and finish stripping down this poor old car. And see what we can find out. This is a Torx 55 bit. It looks like those last bolts in there are going to be a major pain. They already stripped out my my star bit. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but you definitely heard it. Interesting that it was over the valves that was damaged, and not the rest of the block. So I can't wait to see what kind of shape we find this thing in. But before I can continue with that, I'm going to have to run down to AutoZone or Tractor Supply and get me one of these bits. It's really annoying that it did that, because also, you know, mine just made it to where it stripped out that stupid bolt, because it don't look very good in there now. So we'll see. Here I split the bottom half of the engine, and so there's the cylinder that the piston blew apart in. I don't know if you can really see it down in there or not, but I can, and you can see the wrist pin, and I think it looks like another piston ring right there. And then the lower portion of the motor. Right there's that crack. So I'm getting ready to take the transmission off. Looks like somebody tried it at one point. There's one bolt off. And they figured out that with the motor locked up that wasn't going to happen. I don't know why they didn't really think about that before they started on it, but whatever. But if you look down in here, you can see chunks of piston just sitting right there. Alrighty, I got everything unhooked from the transmission, so let's just see about pulling this block off of it. And there she goes. Got my transmission off of it. So here's how the night's ending. Got the transmission sitting over there on my jack. And got not one but two engines. The power stroke block for this van used to be chained up to the back of it. And they can't hardly really see anything right now, it's dark, but inside the car is both engines. So anyway, it's September 23rd, and here's what I've got accomplished with this thing. Got the front end all took apart and everything, and putting some mounts here for to mount up a tow bar. I just gotta find some bolts to get this one in there, but and then right there sits the tow bar that I'm going to use to tow this car like I do everything else. And tow this thing off to the smasher. So here's what this thing's got on the inside now. It's got 7.3 liter power stroke engine sitting there that's cracked in 3 places. Which for those of you that's been watching my videos, you know about that crack. But I don't know how we missed this crack. But anyway, I mean, I was just like, am I going to find more on there before I throw this thing away or what? But anyway, I was showing the guy that this belongs to this morning, this engine block, and when I went to turn it, I saw that crack. But anyway, that's for the van project that's going on over there. I'm rebuilding another block and putting in that. And there's the blowed up engine from this car. And in the trunk, I just dumped all kinds of miscellaneous junk. And I got some other metal and stuff that's going to go back here and all that. But there's the oil pan off at 7.3. Then the heads will also go in the car from that as well after I get the valves out of them. So all I got left to scrap out of this car is just the electrical wire in here that I'm going to keep. And take the gauges and the steering wheel and the shifter and the radio out, and of course the driver's seat. Just never know, get a couple of dollars for that stuff. It's worth taking out, and on this it's pretty easy to get out. There's only 4 bolts holding it in, the whole thing comes out. So I just got aggravated and I bent the front quarter panels out, but they were already dented up and stuff, and I wasn't going to salvage them anyway. So yeah, I just got just a little bit more to go, and this thing's ready to be towed off. And some of you are probably wondering how much I got for the car. So I go to this yard called the Scrap Guy. That's a mobile scrap yard, and I just tore paper off there because I needed something to write on. But anyway, the day I went up there, metal was going for $3 per 100 pounds. And it was like 2,300 or 2,400 pounds that it was. And I got $72.90 for both the 2001 Geo or Chevy Prizm, and as well as the Power Stroke parts that was inside the car. I did take the wheels off the car, but that didn't really matter. But anyway, just for those of you that wanted to know, that's how much I got for the car. And October 17, 2015, at 3:40 p.m. is when I took the car to the scrapyard. So, and these videos done because I've had a lot to do lately. So anyway, thanks for watching my videos, and as always, my friends, viewers, brethren, and enemies, I love you all. May the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ richly bless and guide you all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a great day.